It is a big day for one local nonprofit. After being grounded for 2 years because of COVID, the Inland Northwest Honor Flight is taking off once again. The group takes local veterans to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials built in their honor. And KREM 2 is flying with them today. KREM 2's Laura Papetti live at the airport this morning, getting ready to travel across the country with 100 veterans. Good morning, Laura.
Well, good morning to you. It doesn't get any better than this. We do get to travel with the 100 veterans, see dozens of volunteers. Of course, we talk about this being over 2 years in the making because the flights were grounded during COVID, but really for some of these men and women, it is decades in the making. Many have told us this morning they've never been to Washington, D.C., and so they're so anxious to get going and to see those memorials that were, again, built in their honor. Do you want to mention, before we get into some of the details, while there are 100 going, there are 600 still on the waiting list. So we're going to let you know at the end of this story and as we continue to follow Honor Flight, how you can help support the men and women who served us. It's our chance to be able to serve them in some way. But first, I do want to bring someone in who is very excited to talk about finally taking off after 2 years. Tony Lamanna, the director of Inland Northwest Honor Flight. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning.
You and your team have worked hard for this moment. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's like every other flight, except it's taken 2 years to get here. 4 postponements. We're finally going. It's been 2.5 years since we've flown, so it's double that Christmas morning feeling again to finally be going with these 100 vets.
Amazing mix of men and women. And we do have one woman who is going today. She's fantastic. We interviewed her earlier. We have a World War II veteran, 5 Korean War veterans, and 94 Vietnam veterans. That's spectacular.
Yes.
to be able to do that.
Yeah, we're so excited. And of course, like you said, we have 600 waiting to go at this moment. So we got our work cut out for us. But we're just so happy to finally get this group there. And we have lost 12 from this group that should have gone 2 years ago, and 12 more that can no longer make the trip. So kind of emphasizes the urgency to get this done.
And that's the heartbreaker.
It is, you know, we expect 1 or 2 per trip, but obviously waiting 2 full years, it hit us a lot harder.
Well, Tony, I know you have a lot to do. We're going to let you get to it.
Thank you.
Tony, congratulations, and we'll see you on the airplane.
All right, I'll be there.
So as Tony was just talking about, time is of the essence. It's not just a platitude. It's the real thing. We need to get these men and women the opportunity to see the memorials built in their honor. 100 going today, 600 more on the waiting list. But there are a couple of ways you can help out. First of all, many of the veterans tell us they didn't get a welcome home. Again, 94 Vietnam veterans talking about it this morning, saying we never had somebody cheer for us. We never had that opportunity to be welcomed back. So you can be part of that tomorrow night here at Spokane International Airport. Honor Flight, Inland Northwest Honor Flight landing at 7:30 in the main ticketing terminal. They will bring the veterans through, and we'd love to have a crowd to cheer them on and finally welcome them home and give them that moment of closure. Also, if maybe you can't make that or you want to give in some financial way, easy to do. You can visit KREM.com, you can visit the Inland Northwest Honor Flight, or you can text the word honor to our text line 509-448-2000. I'll send it back to you.
Wow, what an incredible event, and I love to see just how packed the airport is this morning. Laura, you've covered this for a long time. What do you think is the most impactful moment of this whole thing, from, you know, leaving Spokane to arriving in D.C.? What's been your experience?
A couple of things really stand out. Visiting the Vietnam Memorial, the wall, is certainly very emotional. Many of them, the veterans, have told us that's the moment they get to say goodbye and see the names of their friends on that wall. And several have told us that gives them some closure. So that's always very, very emotional. But something we didn't expect before we'd gone on an honor flight was when they board the plane to come home. During that time, they do what's called a mail call. And somebody will go to each veteran and hand them a pile of mail, and they've arranged to have letters written, and groups have sent notes and cards, and each one gets to take a few moments and open these letters. And we've had veterans tell us that they served overseas and never got a letter from home. And some of the men and women were just barely in their teens, right? They were young, they were kids, far away from home, and never to get a letter. And so to get that during mail call is one of the favorite moments by far. And then the welcome home. It is so exciting for the veterans. It's emotional for them and meaningful. So we're excited here at KREM 2 to be part of any of that and to be able to follow that and bring the stories back to you and of course all our KREM 2 viewers.
Well, Laura, thank you so much for sharing their stories. And again, as Laura mentioned, we want to encourage you to be a part of this as well. Tomorrow at 7:30 p.m., the Welcome Home, the veterans from the honor flight that's happening in the main terminal, the ticketing area there. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, same here. I was actually just asking my buddy Chester, who is our morning meteorologist at our sister station in DC. He said it's going to be cloudy and mild
Okay,
there
it's
in
gonna
DC,
be
which
great
sounds kind of
weather.